Their job was routine, but what they found buried beneath a thin layer of dirt was anything but. A woman, no ID, no name, just red boots, handmade jewellery, and the marks of a violent end. This is the case of Eklunta Annie. In the late 1970s, Anchorage, Alaska was a boomtown with a dark underside. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline had recently been built, bringing an influx of workers and money into the city, which then created a rowdy nightlife. This drew the attention of some young women who were seeking jobs as topless dancers or street workers, and tragically, this attracted the attention of an absolute monster. Between 1979 and 1983, dozens of vulnerable women in Anchorage vanished or were found murdered in the wilderness. And it would be on the 17th of July 1980 that a crew of electricians working on a power line made a gruesome discovery. In a heavily wooded area about a mile south of the road, they found a shallow grave containing human remains of a young woman partially buried in the dirt. The scene was eerie and isolated. Only the hum of a nearby power line could be heard. The workers were of course shaken, but they wasted no time, and they immediately called law enforcement. Alaskan state troopers arrived to secure the scene and recovered the remains. The body was so decomposed that only the bones and a small amount of mummified tissue remained. It was clear that the victim had been dead for quite some time. Investigators noted that the grave was shallow and hastily dug, suggesting that someone had tried to hide the body in a rush. However, there was no form of identification, no purse, and no ID cards were found with her. The discovery understandably shocked local communities. Finding a murdered young woman in Anchorage's outskirts sparked fear and rumours. News outlets reported the basic facts. An unidentified female found near Eklunta. Without a name, the press could only describe her as Jane Doe, but she would soon be given the moniker Eklunta Annie. At the time of the discovery, the police had a homicide on their hands with no identity for the victim, and no immediate leads on the killer. The case, tragically, was cold from day one. Annie's remains were transported to the medical examiner's office in Anchorage for an autopsy and analysis.